I am so glad you are here. It is Divine Saturday in my world. I'm Liz, and we've been talking about geomancy lately. Check back in old videos for tarot, I think I've done runes, I've done a whole bunch of things, but today we're doing this one, which is a fun one. Now, I did have someone let me know that they have read and been taught that geomancy probably originated somewhere in what we now call the Middle East because it involved a tray of sand and making dots, which is cool. If that's where it comes from, love that. But today's figure is this one, Carcer. When you see Carcer for this figure, think incarceration, think prison. Think about being stuck inside all of the dots. It is always about restriction, delay, so it's almost always considered a bad sign in a reading, but occasionally it's a good one. Great example, I flash back to my mom when I was a kid trying to do her master's thesis, literally sitting on the floor of the bedroom, of her bedroom, master bedroom, trying to type, and my dad desperately trying to get us kids away from our mother for the afternoon so she could actually get something done because she was desperate. What she needed was Carcer. She needed a space and a place where she could get the job done. So under those circumstances, Carcer is actually a great sign. If you need a little time and space to get something done, you want Carcer's energy. You want that restrictive energy that lets you focus in on what you need to do. But for most people, most of the time, that's not what they're after. It can symbolize excessive greed, which is going to come back to bite you. Actual imprisonment, restrictions, bindings on what you are trying to accomplish. You're not going to get your goals using the tactics you're using if this comes up and getting isolated isn't part of the goal process. Now, it's opposite we've already covered, which is conjunctio, where things kind of come together and you're going to work with probably at least one other person to kind of reach your goal. This is about no other people. I can't. This is not an area where you can rely on other folks. It's an area where you're really self-reliant because you're going to be isolated from any help that's out there. So I wish I could say that this is positive more often than it is, but it's really not. So for those of you who are wondering, geomancy, what the heck is she talking about? It is a series of dots, either odds or evens, that are generated in a random way. Not that you do one or two, but rather that you do a bunch of dots and then you count them. And if they're odd, it's one. And if they're even, it's two, so that your conscious brain can detach from the question and you can just generate some random responses, organize them, and see what pattern they make and see if that pattern applies to your life situation. This is something it has in common with most divination systems. There's an element of randomness in all of them. And one of the great benefits of this when it comes up, no matter what system you're using, is it can really shake up how you look at the problem or situation that you're facing. And that can generate new solutions. And those new solutions can be just the thing you need to get out of something you don't want to be in. Carcer. This one's telling you, though, you're stuck where you are if you keep doing what you're doing. You really want to invest in some of that conjunctio energy so that there's at least someone out there who can lend you a helping hand. And that means figuring out how to do that if this one comes up for you. So it's associated with, for those of you who are astrological, with Saturn, with Earth. It's a very stable sign. It's a hard to shift form of energy when this one comes up. You're going to have to really figure out what you need to do if this comes up for you. But either way, to have a look back at the other signs and symbols we've gone through in geomancy, and if you can find the first video, you'll get a little recap of how to do a shield reading, which is a great form of reading because you're going to generate 4 random figures, and from there you're going to continue to sort of combine them in ways that get you down to a single solitary figure that is your reading figure. But you also look back at the rest of them and see if there's like one sign that pops up a few times, because that one has more influence. So there's all kinds of fun ways to do this. And we'll get into other methods of creating these figures and doing a geomantic reading when we get through our fabulous alphabet. I hope you guys are having fun with this. I am. I love geomancy. I think it's a much neglected divination art. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew here at Magus Books, thank you so much for being your amazing magical you. We love that about you here. And of course, we love the little magical things you can do here in social media land. I know you know what they are. In the meantime, have an amazing week and blessed be.